Alright. What the hell is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the World Team League. The season has been underway now for a few weeks, and it's time to start catching up on the best series. For those who don't know, the World Team League is a team league with the best teams in the world. And right up here in the top right, representing Team Liquid, we have Mana. A fantastic Protoss player and bit of a YouTuber these days, bit of an entertainer. His opponent in the bottom left side, this is Uthermal playing on Protoss Fan. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, oh god, he's picking Protoss versus Mana? Crazy. He's not. He actually is not, guys. He's playing random. But he did spawn as Protoss, and I'll tell you what, when you spawn into a mirror matchup as a random player, it is rough. The only advantage you get is that Mana does send the probe across the map, okay? So he sends the probe forward because he doesn't know if he's going to get proxied, he doesn't know what race it is, so he had to scout earlier, cost him a little bit more minerals. But a very standard double gas opening here for Uthermal. Uthermal's just chilling. Are we going to see chrono boosts on those probes? I'm not quite sure. No second gate. Looks like a one gate opening for him. And I think he's looking to take the front base or perhaps the gold base. Now, both sides are blocking each other's in-base expansion. Something I've really realized on this map is personally, I feel like doing some sort of aggressive or fast tech play into that gold base is actually very powerful. Don't get me wrong. Is it vulnerable? Yes. But there's real mind games on this map because if you can just make it look like you're expanding, have them expand, and then hit them with a sharp all in, that can kill people who are too greedy. If someone's taking the conservative inside base, but then you get the full gold base outside, that can get you ahead. There's just so much stuff, though, with like, what if DTs slip in? What if it's double Oracle? Scouting is absolutely vital. And we're going to see who comes out on top. So far, both sides are doing one get expand into Zealot. Mana is ahead one probe right now. That's because there's an extra chrono boost that's being saved here. Stargate does go down, Zealot comes out, Mana sees the Stargate immediately. Now, I do think it looks like, yeah, Uthermal's going to pylon block. He sees the Stargate as well. Does lose his probe, though, so first blood goes to Mana. And Mana's still got the probe hanging around, scouting out this base. Going to have to cancel this pylon. You really don't want to let that pylon finish, because it's going to be so damaged by the time it finishes anyway. So, good cancel. No! Oh, I feel like that's a mistake there. Both sides very focused on just going for Stargate into an in-base expand. This is very European. This is so different. So I've been casting a lot of Korea and China PvP on this map. And it's kind of the opposite of this. All the players do is proxy and hide what they're doing and try to like sneak at this stuff. Whereas these guys are both trying to do the exact same thing as each other. The most conservative Phoenix play. Wow. I thought Uthermal and Mana might be a little more risky than the standard Euros, but so far, at least, these guys are just playing the most European style. Now, I always make fun of Europe, of course, for being kind of predictable, kind of defensive, and always macroing every single time. Doesn't mean to say it's bad. It just does sometimes get a little bit samey when you're watching the European region. Now, that's pretty good. The Adept comes in. The Zealot should try to stand on top. Uthermal not quite managing that Phoenix lift correctly. That Zealot's got to get over there, mate. The Zealot a little bit far away, does already lose a probe. Mana's going to immediately start picking off these workers. Gets himself one. Can he get himself a second? The Phoenix do get on top. I don't think he can kill that in time, though, because the Shade will break that, which means you've wasted 2 lifts, and the Adept is still alive. On this side of the map, the Phoenix of Mana will pick off that Adept as well. So units lost tab starting to look very good for Mana in these early trades. And oh my god, he's got a second Adept! When did that second Adept get here? Oh me, oh my. This is looking really bad right now for Mr. Uthermal. If he loses any more probes, that's such a bummer. He's already down 5 workers. Does have his Nexus coming up slightly faster. That's his only saving grace. I like the way he doesn't stop to attack there. A single probe hit would have killed that Adept until the shields regen. So good careful usage by Mana, who's going for a second gate in the Twilight Council. I was expecting more curveballs out of Uthermal here, but I think he was hoping to at least start the game on more of an even footing and then start doing the curveballs and do the cheeky strats. Instead, he's committing now to a 2 Stargate Phoenix War from behind, and Mana's already transitioning off Phoenix into Blink, which is really good for him. So up 1 Phoenix is Uthermal. Uthermal sees the Twilights and the Gateways. It's a very important scout. He needs to cancel his second Stargate right now and build a Robo and chrono those probes. He's trying to get a fight here, Phoenix versus Phoenix, before the battery finishes. He does take out 1, but oh, the battery comes in. 1 for 1's okay, but he takes damage on the second. He's got to cancel that Stargate right now. Okay, there we go. The Robo does go down, so Uthermal makes that decision. He's got the 3rd gas coming out. So the thing is, guys, if you keep going 2-star Phoenix, and they're already ahead of you like this, it's not going to work. You can kind of go up to like 15 Phoenix if you're way ahead of your opponent, and just mass Phoenix and take them out. I know there's always a lot of people who are always like, oh, but I watched Mana do a challenge and he just massed Phoenix and it beat everything. You kind of have to be ahead to pull those things off, guys. That always comes down to the opening. And remember that Uthermal in this game has been behind. Even though the worker count's evening out now, he is definitely on the back foot. Now, Hallucination comes in. It's going to see the Robo. You need to build Immortals to counter the Stalkers, and you need to just desperately try to secure a third base without too much delay, because Mana with Blink is the naturally more flexible player. He could explode into an all-in or just play defensively. And as Uthermal, you've got to try and figure out which one he's doing. And if you can get some harassment, you know, before Blink's done, that's nice. But of course, the enemy Phoenix do so much damage. So you want to kind of scoot in, pick off some probes, and get out of there quickly before he can react. And that's easier said than done. So Dep's going to potentially spot these Phoenix flying in. No, doesn't quite spot them. If he could fly on the Phoenix and kill them on their own, that would be great. Very cautious play by Uthermal. I think he's... Oh, he's trying to catch, but no. He's trying to see if maybe Blink was done. Oh, he was going for a third, but it gets blocked. That Adept from earlier in the game being an absolute nuisance. First Immortal's out, but a big supply block here. Oh, that supply block hurts. No third, no... And no Immortal building. That supply block really hurts. He had to cancel a probe in order to start that Immortal to free up the supply, which is, you know, that's okay. These Phoenix just aren't very good units for Uthermal right now, and if he can't get that third base, which on this map is spread so far, that's a problem. 3-gate Blink coming forwards for Mana. Mana is going to head in with 2 Phoenix, a couple of Stalkers, and try to deny that third. If he can do it, it'll be massive. However, Mana does leave his mineral line wide open. Uthermal gets in there, and he's going to pick off 7, 8, 9, 10 probes. Oh me, oh my, Stalker's shoving up the ramp right now. Force field's there. He blinks forward and kills the Immortal. There was no battery. Oh, no battery and no second Immortal to punish. If that Immortal was at least shooting the whole time, he could have killed a lot more of those units. The Phoenix do get recalled home, but losing that first Immortal is absolutely deadly. He only killed 1 Stalker. He's only killed 1 amount of Stalkers so far. He needs a force field now. He needs to force field. Okay, force fields to at least force the Blink to get used offensively. Probes are coming in. Hard to target that Immortal for Mana, but you can see that Immortal there. It is starting to go down, and on the third volley, it does fall. The Stalker's YOLOing in right now. I know it's hard to see what's happening in this fight, but remember, there's just no damage for the red player. For Uthermal here, there's no damage. It's just probes. 1 Immortal coming out adds a lot of damage. The Stalkers do actually get surrounded enough, plus a few Phoenix damage, that a lot of them do die. That was, I don't know, surprisingly not as bad as I thought it would be for Uthermal. But he just doesn't have a third, and that's the problem. Because you can go into Archon Zealot against this, and Phoenix can't pick up Archons. Zealots overwhelm Immortals very easily. Even pure Blink is hard to deal with if they've got a third base up and you don't. You can see it in the income tab up there in the top left of your screens. A massive advantage for Mana. And he can just keep looking to bait the force fields, yeah. Because he can just blink away. You force field, no worries, I'll just blink out. Phoenix are going to do some more damage. This is the desperate damage that Uthermal needs. He needs to do something to keep Mana at home. Ooh, the Stalkers blink forward. The Immortals are in trouble. And one of them goes down. The second one looks like it will fall as well. Indeed, it will. A force field there to trap them might have been nice, but of course, Blink's ready, and they just get on in, get on out. And that's what it's going to be over and over. You know, it's kind of funny because looking at this game is so often what happens when you see someone off-racing in tournaments. People go, you know, wouldn't off-racing be so good for the surprise? I actually feel like if he wasn't supply blocked and so on and didn't make one or two small mistakes, like some of these Stalker dives are cavalier. Like, they're not the cleanest moves from Mana. The problem is Mana's never supply blocked behind this. Mana's opening is just a little bit crisper. He's a little bit more confident in the early Zealot Adept openings. And this is kind of the pain you have to suffer if you want to play random or off-race in tournaments. Because I've done this plenty of times. When I first started playing random as well as other things. And, you know, I played Protoss in like regionals and stuff like that. And mixed in different off-races. And there's just always situations where you just make more dumb mistakes. And it's dealing with the, oh man, if I just didn't make that silly mistake. But that's kind of like just what's inevitably going to happen when you're off-racing like Uthermal is here, where it's like, you're just going to make more silly mistakes. Oh, he's got to watch out. There's a recall there. Oh, watch out. Phoenix getting focused down. One of them does fall. Can he get a second one? Oh, 2 Phoenix going down. It's a cute recall. Mana's like, dude, I'm on 3 base. I don't even need to keep this gateway up. Like, what are you going to do to me? It's a probe sentry, a Immortal move out. Uthermal knows that he's pretty done right now. He's in huge trouble. Getting mirror matchups especially is the hardest, I would say. I think outside of, like, if I could play random, but just dodge the mirror matchup, it would be, I feel like I could be so much more successful as a random player, and I think every random player feels this. Like, every off-race player, think of Raynor, guys. Whenever Raynor got PvP or TVT, it was just like, oh, okay, zero win % chance. Even against the 6K guys, he'd, like, really struggle. Whereas he could beat the best players in the world in PvZ or occasionally in PvT as well. We saw him like taking maps off Clem and stuff. Like it's one of those things though. It is so hard to play the mirror matchups against the guy who's been doing it for 14 years like Mana has. Mana won a championship 12 years ago, his first one. And he's been in the big stages of many tournaments ever since then. Probes are getting taken out there. It's a probe sentry immortal push. It's a little bit of a troll push here. I don't really see this working. As good as force fields are, the Archon, especially on that left side, can break the force fields. You see the Archons can just move through these force fields whenever they want. Even though there's no more battery overcharge, Zealots are so good against Immortals. And the force field usage was very cute there from Uthermal, but of course that was a desperate 2-base all-in at almost 11 minutes. All right. Well, Mana's going to be very happy, guys, because not only is he scouting nice and early with that low ground pylon, but he's scouting Uthermal, who spawned as Protoss again. Oh, now this is the thing. Sometimes people ask me as well. They're like, hey, why don't you play random? Sometimes, why do you just like pick your race? And I'm like, do you know how annoying it is having to have 9 friggin' matchups like in the holster ready to go? Do you know how hard it is to think of exactly who is going to actually like exact details of what to do? People are like, oh, can't you just have like a general build you do? And like, yeah, good luck beating someone who's got thousands of hours more experience in the matchup with just like the loose kind of guidelines of a build mapped out beforehand. So Uthermal, going into this match, he needed 3 different plans ready for each map. And he needed to spend a lot more time thinking those through, thinking about the possible scenarios, transitions he can do, what Mana might do, and how he'll react to those situations, all of those sorts of things. Now, he's going to go for the very greedy 1-gate expand, because Mana does not actually block it. Okay, so Mana's blocking the Cybercore right now. He might have to build the Cybercore over here. Because Mana, yeah, look, Mana knows he's at 150 minerals. Oh, I thought Mana would keep blocking. Oh, well. Not a big deal, to be fair. Zealot does start, so Mana's going to have to play a more standard opening here. And this does give an economic advantage to Uthermi, but no second pylon just yet. He's going to build that on the natural. Okay, fair enough. And he's going to pull away. At this point, you can pull away. I don't think you need to worry about blocking that, because you've already forced Mana to like build a Zealot, change his build order up a little bit. Zealot's going to go across the map. Ooh, Mana's trying to cut off the probe. Is he? Oh, I thought he might pull another probe in front and keep hitting it there, but no, he's just going to go for the Stargate. If he kept damaging the probe, he might have been able to keep it from blocking him again, but he's decided to do a Zealot into an Adept pressure. Uthermal goes Sentry first. Yeah, good. I was about to say, that's a bit dangerous, mate. Sentry, you can't defend a Zealot and an Adept with just a Sentry. So he starts the Stalker here. And 2-gate is a good idea. So I like this play. This is actually one of my favorite plays when I'm playing like Max Packs or someone who's way better at PvP than I am, is you go 2-gate Stalker, because playing Oracle Adept against Oracle Adept is so skill-based that you're just always going to lose against a guy who's way better practice. So Uthermal's wisely saying, if I just play Stalker Sentry, that's like it's an easier style to play. And it's going to be a little bit more asymmetric. Obviously, Mana style is technically the better style, but if you're really perfect with your Stalker positioning, if you get that shield battery in the main not too late to defend your probes, you can actually hang on really well here. But you have to make sure you're in position. And with no pylon near the main base, oh, that's a very fast Twilight. I don't like the fast Twilight. So with this build order, because it's so hard to defend from the Oracle Adept, I think it's really important to delay your Twilight until about, I don't know, 3:45. I think Uthermal's been playing a lot more Protoss than I have, though. Let's see how good he is at doing this. I know he's been trying to play random in tournaments for a while. We'll see if he's figured out how to defend this, because I always feel like delaying Blink and keeping your probe production up is more important. Notice he's been cutting a lot of probe production to try to squeeze that Blink tech in. And it's all about defending the 2 Adepts and the Oracle at the same time. And that's easier said than done. Notice he's barely got enough minerals for the shield battery wall off. He does get it down, but he doesn't pull the probe back, which means he's going to lose at least 1 probe. Those Adepts, not quite focus firing. Oracle going in on the right side. He does cancel the shield battery, but that means, look at that, the main base. He's only got a Stalker and a Sentry there. The Oracle does get 2 probes, make it 3. No, he missed micros. Only 2 probes in the main, but the Adepts have killed 4 in the natural. The Adept does have to shade out of there. Pretty good trade for Mana, though. And this is why I was saying I think you need more probes, because the Twilight Council does nothing against this. As someone who really try-harded Protoss for a good, like, 6 months last year and gave up on PvP, I admit, guys, I'm a coward. This matchup is so hard. I always got to the point where I could play a good TVT or at least a half-decent ZVZ against top players and survive for 10 plus minutes. I never got to that point in PvP. It's such a tough matchup strategically and just understanding what to do in all the different complex situations. And I would often find myself in this sort of situation that Euthermy finds himself in now, where it's like, yep, I am really behind before the 5-minute mark and it's already kind of game over. And it kind of sucks, but that's the brutality of PvP. You need to be very patient and put in a ton of work if you want to play standard styles, which is why I kind of was expecting, like I said, him not to play standard, but him to do more like, I'm just going to open up with a proxy, I'm going to do some crazy stuff. Now, why doesn't he do that, guys? Is it because he's dumb? Because people always say this. Whenever they're like, what an idiot. If you're off racing, of course you should cheese. That's what everyone does on the ladder to me, and it always works. Now, the problem he's running into is he's playing an actual intelligent, high-level pro gamer opponent called Mana, who understands you're playing random and there's a high chance of you cheesing. So Mana scouted with a probe at the very start of the game, right? Mana is going to play exceptionally safe. So you can't do a simple cheese. You need to try to hit him with something that is exceptionally well refined, and the best way to do it is if you can basically trick him, play a standard early game, and then pivot off that nice kind of good one gate opening into something a bit trickier, you can make some magic happen. But I feel like we might have seen some cool ideas like that from Euthermal if he wasn't so far behind. But because he's so far behind off the openings 2 games in a row, he's kind of just finding himself in a position where he's basically just got to play StarCraft and try to recover with defender's advantage, which is easier said than done. Now, to be fair, he's caught up on the probes a little bit. His Nexus is only about 20 seconds behind. It's just, of course, you know, the fact that there is a little bit more infrastructure here. 4 gates with Blink almost finished. Whereas, yeah, you've got Blink, but you've only got 2 gates. And I think he has to stay on 2 gates. I don't think he can afford more than that, but he needs to just keep warping in non-stop. He's going to try and make a Forge. And this is it. Mana's not going for a Forge. So 3-4 minutes from now, Mana's going to have like a massive disadvantage on upgrades. Right now, though, Mana's already ahead. Double the gateway production. And it's going to be so hard to hang on. These sentries need to make some magic happen. But if you just blink in as Mana, yeah, that's it. Just blink in and focus fire. Even with the Guardian Shield, doesn't matter. You're one-shotting units. This is how you use a numbers advantage in this matchup. Finally, he's lost lethality. The healing actually starting to come in big there for Euthermal. But Euthermal not blink. He's got to start blinking back these Stalkers, try and dodge if he can. The Probe's trying to block as well. Good focus fire, man. Just feels like Mana with his focus fire is getting the trades out very quickly. His number, though, is it actually enough there? Units lost tab is going to be pretty telling. Mana's behind on the units lost tab. He actually lost 1 more Stalker. That was a really good hold. And he's got overcharge now. He's got to get in front of the battery, though. He has to be in front of the battery. You cannot let that battery get focused down for free, Euthermal. Oh, no. Battery overcharge needs to come in. Like, he's trying to dodge the blinks. The problem is overcharge isn't even that important. Not only has he chronoed probes rather than overcharged, which means he can't overcharge, but it's also the way he was getting focus fired meant there was no chance to do any healing. It was more about try to guess the Stalker that Mana's shooting at, blink it back to dodge the projectile, but he wasn't able to pull that off under pressure. Behind this, Mana has his 3rd up. Mana is behind in workers, so, man, I feel like that last fight, if Euthermal maybe had the battery overcharge and just a few better blinks, maybe. The problem is he just doesn't have the gateways. 2 gates is not enough. He's trying to recover for the next step, and Mana's just going a little bit more all in. If Mana played a very standard chilled out defensive style, I think Euthermal might be fine. He might recover. He's up in workers. He's ahead on upgrades. But of course, Mana's like, I'm just going to keep going. Hammers at home, gets himself a nice easy 2-0, and starts things off well for Team Liquid. All right. Well, things are looking good for Team Liquid here in round 2. Cure in the bottom left side of the map. Up against Rex. Man, I talked a lot about Euthermal at the start of that last game. I should really have talked about the teams a lot more and set the stage, so I guess I should do that now. Sorry, guys. I was more like, ooh, off race versus main race. But let's talk about offside. So offside, for those who don't know, is basically, it's onside's B team plus what used to be some of their A team. So onside kind of split their team, where their main team is now representing Vitality, Maru, Solar, and Ryung. So they're over there. Obviously, I think Vitality really wanting to get on them so they can have an awesome StarCraft 2 roster for the big World Championships, the Esports World Championships, Esports World Cup, over in Riyadh. is going to be a huge source of money for teams because you get points based on your players, and teams that make it into the top of those, top 8, I think it is, of those tournaments, there's like 20, 30 million, some crazy amount of money for the teams. So we've got lots of teams doing that. But because of that, rather than seeing the roster, we've now got kind of like the B team of onside has now become offside. It's become like an A team almost. Like they're actually really, Rex was always occasionally punching up and having some good games, but he was definitely always the weakest player on onside on that main roster. And yeah, he's going to be trying to fight here to represent, but it's such a hard match, dude. Cure is one of the best Terrans in the world, and yes, he sucks in TVZ compared to his other matchups, but already getting a drone kill, a great way to start things off. It's just so scary as offside here to be like, oh god, number one, we're playing Team Liquid, which is a very good team. Obviously, Clem's waiting in the wings, but now we need Rex to take a map here, or we're just dead. Because if we lose 2 maps, it's a best of 7 overall. Remember, it's 2 maps per team. I should have probably explained that earlier as well. It's not a best of 3. It's just you play 2 games, then the next guys play 2 games, and there's an overall tally. And of course, if it's 1 map each across the 3 series, the 3rd series, I believe, will be, because it's all set ahead of time, I think that's Clem versus Firefly, which is going to be very hard. Firefly is, I would say, much better than Rex. He's beaten Clem before. He's taken maps off him before, but, you know, you don't want to be in a situation where he has to 2-0 Clem, because that's ridiculously unlikely and not something you expect to be happening. Yeah, so it can end up 3-3, and then you can end up an ace match. So if Rex can win 2-0, and then Firefly goes 1-1 with Clem, it'll be 3-3 overall score. We'll get an ace match where both players get to revive a player for a single map to decide the series. So for anyone new to the WTL format, that is how it works. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense. And of course, this scoreline is between the teams. That's a running score in the bottom left side. Reaper Hellion coming over here as well. Ooh, okay. Lings will be going down. Very nice. Banshee and Cloak is on the way. 3rd command center is up now for Q. A very standard opening. And I'll tell you what, Q is very good at playing really safe. Oh, he uses the splash damage. Attacking the queen kills the creep tumor there. You gotta be careful of when a Terran does that. Sometimes you want to move your queen. If the Hellion's like here, your queen's there, you want to move it off the center line so that they can't get that splash damage and get the incidental kills. Oh, he puts a tumor down as they run in again. Unfortunate. Rex's creep spread suffering a little. I do like that he's opening up this right side, though. Does look like he's trying to play a very standard style. 7 queens into a pretty quick lair. So we do expect a second gas and a Baneley Nest to go down pretty soon. Now, Mutalisks have been making a comeback because every Terran is obsessed with siege tanks. We aren't seeing as much Widowmine play recently. Lots of Hellions and Banshees at home. This is how Kua plays, guys. Every time Kua thinks he's the favorite, he always plays Hellion Banshee, and he just sits his Hellions at home. He sends 2 across the map with a Reaper to try and deny the creep, occasionally 3 or 4, like he has this game. And he just leaves the rest of his Hellions at home, and he plays the safest style ever. It's really weird when you're an underdog playing against Kua, because it's so hard to surprise him and catch him off guard, because he's just got so much safety. Like, there's always Banshees and Hellions at home for the whole early game, so actually surprising him is incredibly difficult. Now, that being said, I think the best bet for taking him down would probably be one of those 15-15 openings into a 2-base Roach Queen push. If you hit it at like 5:30 with, say, you know, a few queens that have either walked across the map or you've been dropping a creep highway and that sort of thing to get there, rock up with a few roaches, about 15-20 roaches with roach speed, you might be able to take him down or at least do a lot of damage and throw him off his build, but I don't think Kua would play as greedy. I think he'd have like bunkers and stuff if he sees you sitting on 2-base for that long. Banshee's moving to the right side. We've got someone in chat shouting Usyk. Wait, is there a boxing match on today? Are we talking about as in Usyk boxing? Or I feel like there is an Usyk boxing match on coming up. There's nothing. Is there boxing today? I know we've got like a UFC card on later. I haven't really been following boxing too closely. I've been following the news on the big ones. Fury Usyk just ended. Oh, really? Oh, that was on today. Oh, don't even spoil it for me, gang. I'm gonna watch that later. To be fair, I'll probably get spoiled either way. Wait, I mean, wait. I've already been spoiled. You're shouting Usyk. No way. Did Usyk actually beat Fury? No. That's fine. I'm gonna get spoiled either way. Sorry, guys. I should be talking about this game. It was a good match, though. Someone's shouting Fury, someone's shouting Usyk. Well, if it goes to the decision, we know that it doesn't really mean anything because it's boxing. So the only drama is if there's a knockout, right? It's a split decision, yeah. And boxing decisions are the most corrupt, like meaningless thing in the entire world, anyway. So it's like a 20% chance I actually agree with the decision. I'm like, how are they always wrong? I don't even know. Like, it's almost like it's a corrupt sport. That's crazy. Queenling Bane moving to the right side. Marine Tank Hellion trying to rotate over here as well. Hellbat's trying to morph. Lings and Bane's moving to the left side. Dude, Rex is actually holding his own here. He's stopped at a pretty low work count for a while, but that gives him a lot of Ling Bane. If he can crush this move out, this could be really good, man. Oh, Tank Siege is up pretty nicely. Hello, we've got a big Ling Bane on the left as well. Marines are going to move in behind that mineral line and try to force the Ling Bane to engage, but this counterattack could be successful. Let's see what goes on. The Depot spotted it. Oh, he didn't siege the tank. It's fine, though. There's only a few Banelings. That's enough Marine tank to scare him off. He could focus those Banes down as long as he's looking at it. Remember that Kyo's big weakness is he's just not as fast as some of the other guys in these multitasking scenarios. He can't micro 2 places at once the way Clembion and to some extent Maru can. Kua definitely can just get overwhelmed sometimes by not being able to keep up with the pace of a very high-pressure ZVT. You know, playing against, like, Raynor, for instance, Dark, it feels like a foregone conclusion every time that Kua plays against them, but Rex is not that fast. Rex is not the fastest, blitzingest, quickest Zerg in the world. He's a very good Zerg player, but he's going to struggle to keep up with Kua because he's the one in the driver's seat, unless you can really get some chaos going and catch him off on the back foot. Oh, I like this, though. He's gonna go for the proper cleanup. Look at the way he sets up the push. Oh, maybe mistiming the flank just a little bit. Those Hellbats need to get cleared by the Banelings. I do like that Baneling split there at the last second, and he will force the pickup. Okay, these Queens need to respread creep here. He's got the creep spreading. He's got that 4th base up, and he's gonna have to split his Ling Bane left and right. 5th base does get cancelled on the left, but Rex is hanging on like a champ right now. Big fan of Rex. Rex is a lovely human, and he's very, very good, and he's obviously a streamer as well. Someone who's been improving so much over the years. But he's always been kept back in the shadow of guys like Haas and Nice in that Taiwanese region. Marines in the back of his base. Q is getting in. Oh, the Ling Bane just wasn't quite clicked in the right position. 7 drones going down. This is tough because there's no hive here. And seeing that as Q makes you feel so confident. You're like, oh, you haven't started a hive? Oh, I got a 5th command center on the way. I can go up to 8 barracks. I got tech labs coming down. He can add more marauders. I mean, he's in a fantastic position. He's also playing heavy biomine, which is a style that I love. And like I said, I think we need to see more of this biomine style. This gold base is going to be getting taken out potentially. Widow mines. Ooh, pretty good spreadies on the Lings. Nice hold position micro by Rex. Rex does have an Overseer on the way. One that's already out as well. And he will be able to try to clear that up while he hangs onto the gold. Kua, though, has a good position. He's on 2-2 against 1-1. There's no +2 melee making, which is a bummer. Rex has just been under the gun, under pressure so much. 3-3 starts. Concussive Shell as well. +2 vehicle plating is on the way. 1 more Tech Lab comes in. Ghost Academy does go down. Kua is getting ready for a longer game. Now, to be fair, Kua does not like playing endgame either. He's not able to really kill the Zerg in endgame, so he's going to just keep expanding and keeping out the pressure. He wants to keep trading here and now. One big good fight for Rex could be a game changer, but look at that. Widow Mines smear the Lings, Marines pick up, and he just pulls back. This drop on the left side, I'd love to see that stem in. I feel like he could kill a lot of workers there, but you can kind of see the pace difference between Kua and Beyond. He's often just doing one thing at a time rather than 2 or 3. And the reason is, much like a normal player, this is why I really appreciate Kua, is because I can relate to him. I feel like he's just been scarred by trying to over-multitask so many times, and looking back and half of his army's just gone to Banelings on creep, which is like the true normie experience that you normally don't see reflected in pro play. But like that's what happens every time I try to play bio multi-prong against Zerg, right? I look back and my army's like moved into Banelings and just died. And I'm like, well, I hate myself. Kua, he really tries to just do one thing at a time. Like this one here, he's trying to actually do 2 attacks at once. We'll see if he can get it done. The Marines do focus down the Banelings. The Zergling's getting kind of shredded. This is actually really good. The drop in the back picks up and pulls away just so he can have the safety there. And he pokes and prods one thing at a time. Very methodical and really good when he's in the driver's seat. This is also, unfortunately, what stops Kua from really ever being able to beat Dark or Raynor or Cyril in the last year or so. His win rate has plummeted in that matchup in the last year or two. The Zergs got really good at surviving and forcing multitasking, and It's definitely been a tough run in ZVT for Akua against the top 3 or 4 Zergs in the world, but against anyone else, he still is a massive favorite. If you're not Raynor, Serral, or Dark, good luck, man. He's a freaking beast. Solar as well, of course. Gonna try and drop there. Oh. Okay, see, keeps that alive. He's going triple Starport and Fusion Core, so he's going to go for a Lib range transition to keep up the momentum. Oh, watch out with the Banelings. Oh my god, massive, massive hits with the Widow Mines. Units lost tab's going to be, oh my, oh, sorry guys. Oh my god, sometimes cats get hairballs, sometimes Zergs get inefficiency vomit in their throat, which is what just happened to me. That was, oh my god, that unit's lost tab. It's upsetting me greatly. That is not the unit's lost tab you want. I mean, I'm surprised Rex is still alive with that unit's lost tab. It's only because Q has played such a slow pace of game, right? Where he's just like methodically trading. Look at that. It's better than 3-to-1 trading. That is insane. I mean, it's a shooting gallery. And now he is going to go late game. Even though he normally doesn't like going to late game, he's got 4 command centers building. He's accidentally building Cyclones right now. That's a misclick, guys. Those are meant to be Widow Mines. Random 2 Cyclones at 13 minutes into the game. Yeah. Ooh, Marines coming on in. Here we go, Lingbane Hydra over there as well. Oh, the Banelings do connect, but that's okay. They only connect with the front rank of Marines. Those guys take one for the team. The 5th base goes down again. And being kept on 4 bases, you're going to see this income drop drastically as the gold minerals is no longer being mined with that base going down. This is the problem. Rex just can't keep up. He's getting nuked at his natural right now. Okay, hot pickup might be necessary here. Indeed it is. He does lose a few units to the surround. But oh me, oh my. Oh, good reaction by Rex. He's only going to take a little bit of damage in mining time. It's still very annoying harassment. A lot of damage on his tech as well. Rex is hanging on like a champ, but he truly is doing his best cosplay right now of what was it, the first Rocky movie? He's the big hunk of meat. He's the big, like, was it a pig carcass or like a cow carcass that Rocky's just in the industrial freezer and he's just punching it? He's like, yeah, this is how I make my hand stuff. I'm Rocky. And then you know, that's basically Rex right now is a punching bag. It was a cow, chat says. It was a cow. He's basically he's forming calluses on Kua's hands. That's essentially what he's doing. He's making his knuckles strong, and there's just no way you come back from here. I mean, even if you do counterattack, you're gonna have to get through layers of planetaries all over the map. You've got 6 range libs building at a time, plus 3 vehicle plating. You're still down on upgrades 2-1-2. He's doing an okay job of hanging in there, but there's just at no point is this really in contention. This has been a massive advantage for Kua from the start. And I think the only thing here that gives faith to the Rex fans and the Offside fans is the fact that they maybe see the pace that Kua plays at and they go, well, this would have been over a lot quicker if this was like Beyond or someone, right? They would just be like impossible for someone like Rex to keep up with the pace of Beyond in terms of like the multitasking and all that sort of stuff. You know, there's a reason why I'm pretty proud whenever I get to survive 12, 13 minutes against Beyond in ZVT. It's because he will just focus all your stuff down. He will just run in and gun you down. Against Kua, I think most, you know, high GMs can survive a good 25, oh, maybe not 25, but like a good 15, 20 minutes against him. But it doesn't mean they're winning. It just means Q is taking his time to finish them off. It's like he just plays a slower style and he's just going to slowly build everything up, take efficient trades, and he's still at better than 2-to-1 efficiency in the units lost tab, even though it's evened out a little bit. Ooh, apologies, guys. My computer seems to be struggling with the Nidus Worm, apparently. I don't know. The Nidus Worm went up and it started to slow down a little bit there. Queen does get sniped. Nidus in the back. I don't think there's anything in the Nidus. There's so much Terran on the front. The 5th base goes down again. Rex will clear this base on the left side. Widowmine smearing the front ranks of Zerglings, though. Yes, he gets rid of the Liberators on the right side. He's not shoving in. He's just going to send Libs to try to deal. Lurkers actually do pop out on the counterattack. I think you want to get up into the production. Maybe just leave one Lurker there would be good. He's going to try and get rid of a few of these SCVs. Getting up onto the production would be great, but he's getting pushed on the other side. So those Lurkers... Oh, the Hydra Bane just got shredded by the Libs. Lurkers go up on the high ground. We got scans coming down. Libs trying to deal with it. Production is getting shredded. Well, not shredded. It's getting slowly picked away at by Rex. Kua's production's going down. Rex, though, his army at home is getting pushed into a corner. He's getting pushed into the naughty corner right now, and he does not like it. Cure is right now going full super nanny on his ass. He's saying, nah, you got to set clear restrictions. You got to be consistent. You've been a dumb, naughty Zerg player, and my libs are going to siege up on you and ruin your day. And it's not a very competitive game. I'm going to be honest, guys. It's just too much of a lead with that safe, solid macro play. Too good on the early trades. Once he canceled the 5th base the first time, and then Rex just couldn't get a 5th base up, he was playing in a situation where he was able to control his 4 bases pretty well for most of this game, but he was never able to get a 5th up. And without getting a 5th up, he could not keep up. Cure puts Team Liquid 1 game away from sealing the entire Team League match. All right. Well, right now, guys, we have offside Rex, and it's time to break the rules. It's time to do whatever the hell you think will win you this game. Nidus all in, bring out a giant Ling Bane all in, do a roach shove. He's got to do something, because offside are getting wrecked. They're down 0-3 in a best-of-7 series. He needs to win this map, then Clem versus Firefly. We need Firefly to 2-0 Clem, and then we need someone to beat Clem in the ace match as well. Right now, offside is needing to make some magic up. Basically, if they were playing soccer, aka football, you would need to basically score. You need to just blatantly go offside and maybe pay a little bit of a bribe to the umpire, to the sideline umpire, and hope they don't call it. You know, hope the ref looks the other way a little bit. We might need some nasties, is what I'm saying. Winning the next 4 games in a row to win this series is going to be rather intense against a stacked Team Liquid roster. Don't get me wrong, Team Liquid has never really won the WTL. They've gotten to like the top 4 a few times. They've never won. They're not like Basilisk and now Vitality Gaming, the onside roster previously, of Maru, Solar, which have dominated the last few seasons. I think they won back-to-back. I'm pretty sure they beat Basilisk 2 seasons in a row, if memory serves. Reaper is bouncing around. Very nice micro for Cure so far. ZSCV looking to block the 3rd. Now, what's interesting here, guys, is Rex can't spend his money right now. So he's at like 300 minerals. He's going to try and escort this out. Ooh, getting that hit on that Reaper is good because it stops it regenning. So now the Reaper is only 2 Queen volleys from death because it's 2 times 4 damage, 8 damage. There we go. Okay, 3rd base gets down pretty early. He'd already built the Overlord and the 3rd Queen, droning behind it. Really good handling by Rex. Just really good, solid opening. 3rd command center goes down behind this for Cure. And as I said, I would not be surprised if Cure just sends 2 Hellions and the Reaper across, keeps everything else at home, builds Hellions and builds Banshees. That being said, I would like a Liberator or a Viking. I would like him to change it up. And we don't see a Tech Lab yet. The longer we go without a Tech Lab, the more likely we'll see like Viking Liberator. You're up a game as well, so you can take a little bit more of a risk. Ooh, so we're talking about CTE and physical sports and how with any contact sport, there's going to be an element of brain trauma that comes in with heavy contact. So while we're just in this early game, we talk about that a little bit more. Someone says, NFL athletes are beyond anything in rugby. That's not wrong. There is an insane amount of money in American NFL. So when you say NFL, say American football, by the way, guys. So what you got to realize is NFL means National Football League. What you're going to find is if you're not in America, there's other nations that exist. So NFL in any other country's context refers to their own football league, not your one. Just a heads up, if you're speaking to people that aren't in America, that's going to make a bit more sense to them. Yeah, American football has an insane amount of money, talent, steroids. You have got such a huge amount of money and focus going into it. It's way bigger than any form of rugby. So you are going to have a ridiculous species of athletes. But when it comes to the CTE involved and all that sort of stuff, it also is the different style of game and the rules involved with what tackling is allowed and the armor they wear does also contribute to why there is a little bit more brain trauma in that compared to rugby. But they both obviously have very high instances either way. That's just the way contact sport works, guys. It's rough and it's not great. You want to be aware of it, especially with like putting kids into it at young ages and all sorts of stuff. But at the end of the day, I think people should, in my opinion, I like as someone who watches boxing and fighting and all that stuff, I'm totally okay with letting people kind of put their own body in harm's way. I feel like you know, people smoke, people drink. I feel like we all kind of do, to some extent, do a lot of damage to ourselves in all sorts of different ways, and I'm okay with that. This is my one as an Australian freedom sort of thing, where I'm like, let people do what they want to do. You want to put poison in your body, go for it. You know, I'm kind of down for all that. I don't want us to be too. Oh no, you might get a. You do this too much, you'll get head trauma. It'll wreck you. You know, that's just my view. I'm down. I'm okay with letting people inflict grievous bodily harm on themselves, and I guess to be fair on others as well in fighting combat sports, but only because they both agreed with it. And it's kind of rough. I have a lot of friends who just can't handle watching. They can't stomach it. And don't get me wrong, whenever there's a brutal fight, I look away as well. I'm also like, oh god, I can't watch this kind of thing. But just appreciate the skill is where I come in. I think people kind of have this image of, if you watch any combat sports, you're just there wanting to see people's heads get pounded in, and definitely there's maybe, I would say, half of the viewer base just wants to see that. They are savages. You just want to see people get hurt. But that's not what I'm in it for. I really am there to appreciate the skills and the art in martial arts. Anyways, that was actually a really good save on the 4th, guys. If he lost that would have been a bummer. He starts a 5th, 10 Mutalisks coming out for Rex right now. Baneling speed's on the way. Mutas, I've said everyone's been building tanks lately, and he picks it. Q is going siege tanks. There's some really good tank positions, like across these ledges and stuff. Breaking these rocks, really good idea. Notice what is Rex missing, though, guys? Double Evo. But that's correct. That's on purpose. This is a purposeful thing. You don't have enough gas to mass mutas, make speed banes, make air attacks, and also have double upgrades on time. So 1-1's going to finish for Kua soon, and he's just going to be up double upgrades the entire game. We should see double Evo start pretty soon for Rex. But notice right now, Rex is massing units on 66 drones. So he's looking to ambush any potential move out, shut it down, and then really be in control. He has not started droning a 4th just yet. Lings and Mutas fly in. Mutas go after the Banshees. Oh, there's no Overseer here. They could cloak. Kua, cloak the Banshees. The Mutas aren't even going for them, funnily enough. The Mutas go after the Marines and the tanks. The Banshees getting given a free pass there. Mutalisks getting good damage. A lot of those SCVs took a lot of damage. The Banshees eventually do cloak and survive there. A slight mistake for Rex, I would say, but dude, the SCV damage makes it more than worth it. 13 workers going down. So many damaged as well. Oh, I tell you, as a Zerg player, you want to click on those SCVs really badly, but the medevacs will start healing them. He's going to come in, get 1 or 2 more, which is nice. He's only lost 0 Mutalisks, 19 Zerglings this game, and he should be now droning the 4th. Oh, he's not droning his 4th, guys. He's only on 70 workers. So Rex, I think, here is expecting Kua to play very aggressively, and he's kind of preempting it and saying, look, if I try to play a super economic game, it might not work, so I'm just going to keep on rolling in. Mass fresh mules going down. Oh, my lord. He's trying to blow up on the SCVs and not the tank. He ends up just going, what the hell? There's enough mules next to it. I might as well just go for it. That's a pretty damn good wave. He is on 71 drones, so he built a couple of workers. He's going to find a medevac. The medevac low on energy does drift forward. It almost goes down. It's deep in the red. Kua is on the back foot. 52 workers now. Rex fighting hard from behind here for Offside Gaming. And Offside, man, they are definitely down in the weeds, but this is looking like a fantastic start. If there was ever a start where Rex could finish off Kua and start the comeback train, this would be it. 2-2 upgrades on the way, as well as drilling claws. 9 more drones are building. So he's going to try and get up to like 85 workers now. Is that a little greedy? I don't think so. I think this is the correct way of doing it. He's got Banelings morphing. As this Marine tank army comes out, he sees it. His Mutas are still on the other side of the map. He's sending a lot of Lings forward. Oh, so he's going to try and buy time with this Ling Bane. I think he loses the 4th and just transfers to this base up top, which is fair enough. 4 drones go down to the Hellions. Mutalisks try to fly in. There's a missile turret there, though, and it does stop them. Lings will go all the way around the edge of the map. Very safe path on those. And Marines come forward. 1 Mutalisk does die. Lings are going to go in there. Those Banshees left alive from the earlier stage. Bit of a bummer that those were left alive, but the turret will go down. As so will almost all of the SCVs on that base. Very few getting out of there. 1 Widowmine does fall. Nice moves there for Rex. It's super worth it to give up your 4th or 5th base here, because now you're 4 base first, 2 base. He also should just be building new hatcheries in the top of the map just to make sure he can keep transferring, because he's got so many workers. He's very oversaturated right now. You can see 18 out of 16, 20 out of 16, and 11 out of 16. Oh, 13 out of 18 in the main. That's where the excess is. +2 flyer weapons is on the way for Rex right now. He does not have his 2-2 started. Gets himself another SCV as it pops out. Thor's Marines hanging out. The Banshees there also. No Hive Tech on the way. No 5th command hatchery building until just now, and it is slightly misplaced. Rex panicking a little bit. You can always see when a player's a big underdog and they get a lead. You can always tell their hands get shaky and they start doing the hatchery like that. I do that every time I'm beating someone that I shouldn't be beating. I'm like, oh god, I just start throwing hatcheries everywhere. My mouse cursor starts doing these ones. I'm like, stop, breathe, stop panicking, stop having, lower the adrenaline, calm down. Easier said than done, though. Easier said than done. Ling Bane's rolling forwards right now. The Widowmine does get a decent shot there. Rolling so far off creep, though. A little bit of a messy fight for Rex. Oh, careful, Rex. It's not too bad for him. I'd like to see him continue counterattacking. He's so heavy on the Banelings right now. Or just sandwich this army from two sides. There's no need to be attacking from just one side. He gives up a hatchery again. Why? Oh no, Rex. Is he playing too safe, guys? He's making mass Baneling. He needs more Zerglings in the mix to make sure he can actually wrap around the units. You don't want to have pure Baneling. He's going to try and chuck a Ragnarok. He's going to build a Ragnarok of Banelings. Thing is, if Kua goes home, rebuilds his work account, keeps adding mines and Thors, he might be able to survive. Oh, this is the move I was looking for, though. Yeah, the Ling Muta run-bys are fantastic. Widowmines do fire a little bit. These Banshees from the early game, man. Dude, if he killed those earlier, I'm telling you, these Lings wouldn't be tied to him. Nonetheless, he still gets great damage. Mutalisks getting jumped on in the main. They are going to pull back from there. The whole army comes back. Another 15 workers goes down. He's on 3 command centers, so he's kind of screwed. That being said, Rex is frozen up right now in panic, guys. He's got 30 workers here. He's not transferred to this new base down there. He needs to be just slowing down, breathing, and re-expanding. You can tell that Rex is very excited with the situation he finds himself in. And maybe hasn't been practicing as much Mutiling Bane because no one was doing this for a long time. And even though I said, yeah, it's back a little bit, he might have only played a few games in the last few weeks with this style, kind of trying to de-rust the old Mutiling Bane style that was so popular back in Heart of the Swarm. Ling's going to try to come in for a run by. Good pullback. If he went up that ramp, he was trapped. But at the same time, Mutas come in from the front. Widowmines are there, though. 3 Widowmines, as well as the Banshees, going to cause problems. Lings on the left side get taken down. The income is not bigger right now for Rex. He still hasn't transferred workers. Oh, no, Rex! Come on, mate. You got so many workers and he's just not mining off a 4th base. He's going to give it... Don't give it up. This is a small army for Terran. He should roll over this. Rex is so afraid right now. He's so afraid of losing the game. Sometimes when you get afraid of losing something, guys, you basically confirm that it will be inevitable that you lose it. I do love these Ling run buys. These are amazing trades, though. To be fair, this is a very safe way of playing it. Oh, the Widowmines tried to retarget on the Mutalisks. He managed to take out one of the Overseers, but not much else. The Lings are going to come in yet again. And with those Lings and that Overseer taking out the turret, he should be able to jump on it. The Banshees! He finally killed the Banshees! They do go down. He's going to start overwhelming the front. Single Mutalisk gets pulled to the left to drag that Widowmine shot away. He is doing massive damage, and even though he's not mining those bases, and he easily could be expanding to these corners of the map during this, I know that Rex is fast enough and good enough to do this. He's actually, by continually avoiding where Terran wants to fight and choosing to fight where he doesn't, which is defending his 3rd base, he's actually getting massive advantages. Like, the thing is, Rex is like, yeah, he's not pushing his income correctly at all. His mining is absolutely abhorrent right now. He's not managing his economy, but his tactical decisions on where to fight are more than making up for it. And that's a bizarre thing to say, because it seems like such an obvious mistake to just not be defending his bases. From like 8 Marines, he has like 100 Banelings, and he's like, no, I can't defend a hatchery. I can't move my drones out to mine. Like, he's so focused on the Ling Muta counterattacks that he's definitely massively misplaying in terms of his economy management. But the doggedness to not fight where Terran wants to fight is actually huge. And this is something I've always said, when you're playing Terran, doesn't matter the matchup. PvT, TvT, oh! 4 Mutalisks and Overseer go down, bit of a misclick. Whenever you're playing Terran, whether it's TvT, Zerg vs Terran, Protoss vs Terran, they always get these certain timings where they have a really good army. They want to set it up around a ridge line, spread the tanks and mines and Marines and everything out. And then if you fight into that, that's their best chance to beat you. But if you give up the base and move your workers elsewhere, that's usually the best way to counter it. He loses the hatchery on the left again! Has to rebuild it for like the 17th time. Dude, he loses another hatchery in the top right. He's lost 4 hatcheries, cancelled like 5 more. Chat saying he needs infestors. I don't think he does. I think he could kill this army at any point. If he comes at this army from 2 sides, all there is to kill the Banelings is 2 Widowmines and a siege tank. That does not beat 88 Banelings. But he's just got to Sanger it. He's got to Sanger it because he's let Kua getting such a big army. If Kua takes the correct fight, this could be a real bummer. It kind of feels like he has to base trade now, does Rex. Gets those Widowmine pickoffs, which was absolutely brilliant. Really good micro there. Gets that Widowmine. Keeps picking them off before they can fire. Gets another Widowmine. Really good Mutalisk control. Oh, no! Oh! I could not have picked a worse time to say really good Mutalisk control, could I? Really good Mutalisk control. And it was like not even a second from the words leaving my mouth that he just leaves them there, and then like 7 Mutas died to Marine stimming on them. Oh no. He's gonna lose this hatchery again. No! He's gonna go for it! He goes for it! Mass Baneling! As I said, there is not a lot of answer. Oh my god, a Widowmine just killed like 14 Banelings, but it doesn't matter, there's just so many Banes here. Oh my god, this might not be enough though. Dude, if those Banelings aren't able to get the big hits, this could work out for Kua. Kua needs to stim right now, though. Kua, a little bit slow on the stim. Where are his Widowmines? He needs these Widowmines burrowed. Good pullback for Rex right there. Another hatchery denying the top side. He just killed the drone that was trying to take that hatchery. This is actually insane. Rex is so far ahead, but you can see his nerves on display right now. And he's down in army supply. Kua's lifted a base out here. He's not really had the room to build command centers. I gotta feel like in this sort of game, if Kua was actually calm enough to turtle and just build command centers, I think he might have been able to come back and win this game. As it is, I don't know, because he just doesn't have much income. This is his third main command center, lives down here, still only on 3 orbitals. The Muta's actually going and target some mines down. Very dangerous move. He's got 3-3. The problem is he's not rebuilding SCVs or command centers. So it feels like he's perpetually all in. And against a Zerg who just refuses to fight front on and just keeps counterattacking, it seems like you kind of need to have a bit more economy backing your situation up. So, you know, there is a strategic element of Rex refusing to fight front on, counterattacking over and over again, threatening the base trade. That's actually very effective. These Mutas can win this fight. It's only like 5 Marines against, you know, 15 Mutas. The Mutas do take them out. 14 Mutalists still left there. Lings run in. They do get cleaned up as well. I like that he's using mostly Mutas and Zerglings on the counters, Banelings at home to defend, but dude, these drops need to be dealt with. He's just not ever ready in position for these. That hatchery's looking like it might go down as well, and Lings do get up there. Actually, it's not target fired this time, so it does survive for once. Muta's still dancing around the back. Natural and main are both completely mined out here for Kua. He's losing gas mining on that base a little bit. Does lose a medevac, as well as a gas, or a turret, sorry, went down. Guarding those gases. A few more SCVs are going to fall as well. Kua running around chasing his own tail right now. Marine does come in, and it looks like there is a drop in the main base that did get cleaned up. Hatchery's up on the 4th, fully mining. 5th base is up. Let's see those workers transfer. I mean, at this point, he can just control F1, right? Select all idle workers and just move them to a new base, and it's instantly fully saturated. And that actually is what he did. Oh, no, he didn't. He only boxed those. He's got tons more workers he could move around, but he's been so active with his Mutalist, he's not able to keep up. 2 Infestors are on the way right now. 30 army supply lead for Kua. Definitely. I mean, I actually love the Infestor call from Twitch chat now, because, like, the way he's running back and forth across the map, yeah, he's very presented for, like, a few good fungals, could definitely win this game. And Infestor Ultra is such a good comp. In general, it's, like, one of the best mobility-focused comps against Terran. If they have planetaries and ghosts everywhere and libs, yeah, maybe not. But in this sort of game where the Terran has no infrastructure, Ultra Infestor reigns supreme. The Lings here are going to get some of these SCVs, at least force them all to run away. Maybe didn't even get a single worker, actually. That was a good pullback by Kua. Does have a Widowmine on that left side. 4 Ultras with 3-3 finally coming in. The upgrade advantage of Terran is slipping away. Kua's been on the back foot for a long time, trying to fight back. But Rex, economy management, we're going to give him a D-. But when it comes to his counterattacks and his tactics in that regard, I want to give him a bloody A, give him an A grade, because he is just keeping Terran back. And loses a hatchery, moves the drones. All he loses is mining time. He doesn't really lose the drones. He just loses the mining time, loses the 300 minerals for the hatchery. And that's just not that big of a deal, is it? Look at the way he's using his Mutalist to get so much value on the Widow Mines. He's only down 6,000 resources in the units lost, and, you know, he is slowly, eventually, going to be mining more than the Terran. Another Mutalist does go down there. Oh! I didn't even see that, and neither did he! A triple Widow Mine trap blossom. Now, just keep in mind, guys, 4 Widow Mines is actually the magic number, because otherwise they do leave them on just a couple of hit points, as we saw there. But that was, beautiful trap for Kua. It does pay off. Corruptors are building right now. He's going to try and use Corruptors and Mutalists for the anti-Widow Mine. Ling run by on that right side. He's deep on creep right now. The fungal mass Baneling Ultra runs through. I mean, this is such an advantage for the Zerg for such a long time. Oh, the Mutas are on top. He's not quite able to take him down, though. Those Mutalists are getting shredded. There are Corruptors coming in from behind. A Fungal to stop them picking up would be nice, but I don't think he quite has the energy. Oh, he does, actually. Oh, Fungal on that medevac would have been nice, but hey, that's okay. Looks like he'll be able to clean it up eventually. 18 drones do go down in the bottom left side to this Marine drop. I think Rex has such a good army with the Ultras and the Banes. He should be able to win. It's just watch out for those Widow Mines. If they hit on the Banes, that could be a game changer. The Marines are kind of rolling in ahead of the... the Lings, rolling in ahead of the Ultras. The Lings are going to spread, set off the Widow Mines, and that's going to be massive because, oh, the Fungal Ultra just lands. Fungal Ultra all over those Marines. Oh my gosh, Banelings, Ultras, Corruptors, cleansing it. And Rex, a dicey way to do it, but he keeps Offside alive and gets their first point on the board. All right. It all comes down to this man here. Offside's Firefly. For some reason, the clan tag's different. It's just side? Wasn't it offside for the previous players? Maybe it's a slightly different clan tag on different servers. Oh, maybe someone already took offside on the NA, so they had to make a different clan tag just called side. Anyways, Firefly at the top right up against Clem at the bottom left. Clem is obviously going to be a scary opponent here, man. He only needs to win 1 map out of 2 here. Even if he loses both, he gets revived in the ace match. Now, why do we know that he gets revived? Because let's just put it this way, guys. If you're a Team Liquid coach and you're saying, do I put out Mana, Cure, or Clem? I guess there is a chance for those guys, but I mean, realistically, I just feel like Clem's going to be the best option in all 3 matchups, right? Cure is pretty darn good as well if you want, but I think Clem is probably the better one. Now, he's going 2 racks Reaper opening, which is kind of interesting. It does slow down your command center a lot. It allows you to do some interesting pressure where you can jump up here, I guess, and then run up that ramp. You can also run around here and jump up there, but because it's not a gold base and Firefly's just taking the normal expansion, I actually think Firefly's in a pretty good setup for it. Now, what's with this pylon positioning, guys? Is that just to spot the Reaper ledge? Because it feels like these could get depowered really easily. I guess he builds another pylon over here a bit later. He comes in. Oh, he sees no gold base. But the gold base went down just after he left. Oh, Firefly, that's so unfortunate on the timing, mate. And there's going to be 3 Reapers, 4 Reapers coming out. Oh, you're not really expecting this, are you? Look, he's not even building his second unit. Oh, he's skipping his second unit to rush Twilight Council. Firefly, please make an Adept or a Stalker right now. He doesn't have enough gas. He's waiting for 50 gas for a Stalker. See that? 50 gas starts the second Stalker. Oh, if that first Stalker goes down, if it just gets bounced around but a bunch by the 3 Reapers, this could spiral really hard. So apparently, chat's telling me apparently if you build you can actually build a gateway down here or a cybercore and it fully walls the Reaper path with this pylon. Ooh, thank you, Serasis, for letting us know. I had no idea about that. So if he thought it was 3 racks Reaper or something, then he would be able to wall off. Already losing a probe. Oh, he missed targets there. Oh no, he actually purposely targets the Stalker. Clem going for the Stalker is crazy. Changes his mind to go back for the probes. He's going to sacrifice at least 2 Reapers here for probes. He's going to sacrifice all 3. You know what? Only 4 probes for 3 Reapers. That's a bad trade for Clem. That's a bad trade for him, guys. Yeah, I would have liked him to kill a few and rotate around or something, but Clem dives in the back door. Maybe a little surprised to see no gold base there. He confirms now that there is an expansion. And Firefly, interestingly, not chrono boosting probes on that natural, guys. He's chronoing Blink. This is always something which I struggle with. Whenever I see a Protoss do this, I'm always like, man, you just took probe damage. If you chrono probes, you can recover really fast. But he's just chronoing the heck out of Blink. Reaper's going to go down here. That Reaper did just get killed. He's like non-stop warping in Stalkers. Okay. Well, I mean, he wants to deny the gold base, so fair enough. I guess being aggressive makes a lot of sense on this map because you don't want to let Clem get away with this gold base. And this gold base is super risky, and Clem gets punished really hard. He has to go lift to the other base. This base just sucks. He should just move to the other expansion, put these workers mining the main, float the command center over, and he's on 3 racks right now behind this. 3 racks? Oh, okay, so Clem is focusing on being the offensive player. He wants to go and attack. Thing is, Firefly's been non-stop making Stalkers off 2 gate. With really good Blink Micro, he can pick this apart. There's no stim, no concussive. I don't know why Clem's on the map right now. He's trying to defend his gold base. This is a crazy move for Clem. Clem showing very little respect to Firefly right now. This is incredibly dismissive of Firefly's skills to just try and split Marauders over here like this. I think he wants to get bunkers up down here, but there's no way. He's bleeding units out to these Stalkers. Clem running into the Stalkers, trying to defend this gold base against the committed Blink pressure. Blink is now done. The Stalkers are outgunning him right now. Good Blink backs. He hasn't lost any Stalkers yet. Oh, Firefly blinking back at the last second. He's got 2 more Stalkers warping in. The stim comes in, but there's no units left. He does take out 2 Stalkers at the tail end of that, but that's for what? 2 Stalkers for 4 Marauders, 9 Marines? Yes, he's damaged them all, but now you're on 1 base against 2. If Firefly takes a 3rd base on his gold now, he's got map control. And remember, on this map, whoever gets map control, whoever gets the forward stance, gets to mine the gold base and then wins off of that. The problem here is Clem committed to a Reaper dive, threw the Reapers away, and handed map control back to Firefly. If he kept the Reapers alive, he would have been able to threaten run-bys, pin a lot of Stalkers at home, and he may have been able to get this out in time. But as it is, his gold mining's denied. There's Stalkers on the front as well, and Clem just taps out there. Clem going for a very aggressive play, and it backfires. It's a map which, admittedly, a lot of Protoss have been taking this gold base over there, and if Firefly did that, I like Clem's opening. But with a more standard scenario, like he was up against, Clem should have killed 2 probes, backed away, kept the Reapers alive, would have been a much better start for him. All right, well, he keeps himself alive with a very decisive counterattack, realizing Clem was going to try and get that gold base up behind it. Clem sometimes a little bit predictable, and he is so aggressive in this matchup, and I like that Firefly went from very standard defensive safe build immediately into I'm going to counterattack you. Because if he didn't do that, Clem would have got away with murder and would have been able to outgun him, but instead gets himself a very good position, and Clem now going for a gas first opening. Should be rallying this SCV back to the minerals, though. Unless you want an SCV scout. Gas first SCV scout. Old school, baby. What's this? What's this, then? Gonna go... It's too late for an engineering bay block, I'm pretty sure. I think it's just a scout. Probe goes out in this direction, though. Firefly is looking for it. Firefly is walling the high ground Reaper ledge with the gateway. So normally a gas first is to get a very quick factory, swap that out, build reactor and that sort of thing. This SCV is coming in. Actually, he's going to get there just before the Nexus goes down. Oh, this is like really good for the late eBay block timing. But Firefly sees it. Clem loves this opening. He does eBay block all the time. We should pull 3 more probes. Beautiful response. Firefly's going to shut this down. Now, don't get me wrong, you don't have anything else to spend the minerals on in this build, so it makes sense for Clem to still start the engineering bay. But I think he realizes this is going to do diddly squat at this point, and not even going to try to build it anymore. He doesn't want to lose the SCV, and he knows, I'm just going to have to cancel this in a second anyway. Build the factory. It is what it is. Great defense by Firefly, who starts a Nexus there after the Cybercore, returns to mining. Now, to be fair, he did leave full workers on gas. I've always been critical of that. I've always been like, nah, you got to be mineral focused in this scenario. And I think for noobs, it makes sense. But I think for pros, when they spot it that early, shut it down that quickly, it's actually worth mining this much gas. Because if you leave 16 workers on minerals plus the 3 pulling, you basically have no gas mining. And even if you could afford, say, an Adept with 1 worker on gas, your Warp Gate, your Twilight ends up so delayed. Because the second gas, as we can see, is massively delayed off of this opening. Apparently, Skillus showcased the wall-off in the Star League over in China. Oh, hello. Cool, guys. I didn't watch those games. I know they started yesterday night, some of those matches, but I didn't get a chance to watch any of them. So, really excited to catch up on those games and see what happens when they drop the replays after the whole weekend's over. I know that's going to be continuing tonight. Big Star League in China today. Tonight we'll be finishing up with like Maru, Hero, a bunch of guys. I know I'd predicted a Maru Hero Grand Finals, but you never know what's going to happen on LAN. I haven't looked at the results yet, so we'll see what happens. Oh, going to lose the SCV as Clem, or is he? The SCV ends up being a bit of a bait. Guys, Firefly's 3-gating. Firefly did not build a Twilight Council. Firefly is going for a 3-gate proxy right now. Yes, the Adept goes down. That can get repaired up, which is good for Clem. But because this keeps Clem back, Clem is going for a Hellion drop. And this is a really scary moment for Clem. He cancels the Tech Lab there. I think that was because he needed gas to start the medevac. But this 3-gate is going to hit him with a ton of Adepts and Stalkers, and Clem needs to defend the high ground with just Marines and tanks. If he leaves his Marines on the low ground, they die to the first Adept shade in, he could lose this game very hard. Adept comes out, it's going to get a few hits off. This is a really good Adept, because you get free damage there, right? Because then you shade back, you heal up at your battery. Or actually, he's going to actually leave it out of the base. That means he's got nothing at home. Dude, Firefly's economy is going to get absolutely wrecked by this Hellion drop. The Hellions have been slowed down a lot, for sure. He is warping in Stalkers. He's very aware of what could be coming his way. So he's got an Adept and a Stalker. 2 Adepts, 2 Stalkers here, which can defend this. He's going to take a lot of damage. The question is, how much damage can Clem get? Clem's going to lose one of the Hellions immediately because it was already damaged. That's the power of those early Adept shots that we talked about. 4 probes go down. Medevac rotating behind this. We're going to see warp-ins on the other side of the map shortly. It's not happening just yet. Medevac takes a lot of damage as the boost comes off cooldown. He's going to at least force those probes to run away. He looks for an extra volley, and he's going to be able to take out just a couple more probes before he tries to get out, but that's going to go down. Medevac and Hellions, well, the Hellions go down. The Medevac it does get out. Stalkers are warping in. There is no understanding of what's happening right now for Clem. He did not scout the tech, and he's got to pull back to the high ground, but he doesn't realize, okay, pull back, pull back, pull back. He's got to get back to the high ground with everything and build a bunker right now. He's got to get back to the high ground. He's leaving Marines sitting out right now. Clem, you do not want to let Firefly back in this series for offside. Okay, the tank, this is it. With the tank sieged up, he's perfectly fine, and Clem should be able to hold there. Now, obviously, he wants to get back to the low ground sooner rather than later, but he's got to be worried about the ambush. There's Adepts, Stalkers, all here on the front. All he's got is a few Marines, tanks, and a Medevac. This is not a big army for Clem. That's a good siege location. Good depot raise as well. So he's going to try and move down here. He's going to have to repair that, which means SCV is going to be sitting ducks. Stalkers and Adepts could focus fire them. You cannot lose this command center. You cannot lose that command center. Good tank shot goes off there. He's got to keep repairing the command center. If it goes down, it's game over. But the command center survives. He could be in a good spot at the end of this. It's all about managing a very dangerous scenario. There's a tank in reserve on the high ground. Tank on the low ground will move down. Great harassment by Firefly. Firefly's adding Twilight's probes behind this. He does lose himself a Stalker. The tanks are finally in the low ground, and it looks like it's being defended. Now, if Firefly gets a third up quickly, that'd be great, but keep in mind, he's undersaturated in his main and his natural right now. He's not building probes, and he's building 3 gateways and an immortal, and he's cut probes. Oh, guys, keep it simple, stupid. Firefly, thinking of the age-old wisdom. When you're playing someone better than you, why overcomplicate it? Why probe up? Why take a third base? It's Clem. This man doesn't scout. He just attacks. You know he's going to build up. He's going to realize he's been stuck turtling for a while. The moment he gets stim, shields, and a few medevacs out, he's going to push out. And if you're ready to just swarm on him with Immortal Zealot, that could be great. 2 Immortals, Mass Zealot, and he's going to send a Prism in the back door, warp in 8 Zealots at the same time as this all happens. It is a 2-base, mineral-only all-in. If Clem is playing safe right now and respecting his opponent, as he should drop a scan on the natural and see no gases there, and that's quite a tell. The other thing is you could scan for a third, but you don't necessarily know which third he's gone for. Clem's moving out without scouting. That's dangerous. He wants to get rid of the gateway right now on the left. The Observer sees this. Charge is not done, though. So I think he should be fine. He can save those units into the medevac as need be. And as Firefly, you have to hide what you're doing, because you're going for a big all-in. 3 pylons, Warp Prism being chrono boosted, 38 probe all-in. Clem is miles ahead on the economy, but we're on Clem's vision right now. Stim, shields, and +1s on the way. Firefly knows he's not going to beat Clem in a macro game, or at least he's unlikely to. Clem being one of the best TVP players in the world, who regularly makes max packs look like hot garbage. Not hot garbage, but, you know, like there are series where he trounces max packs, right? And max packs is one of the best plays out there. Clem was zooming in and out, looking for the Observer right there. He hasn't seen it. He's trying to zoom in and out, guys. He has not spotted the Observer. We're still on his vision. He's zooming in and out. He hasn't spotted it. It's right over here above that orange bit. You can see he was moving his camera and he didn't know about the Observer. Oh no! He's moving into the ambush! He's moving into the ambush! The force field charge lot Immortal Sentry jumps on him. Oh gosh! He's got to save the tanks. Get the tanks to the high ground. He just has to pull up his ramp and survive. His command center is still damaged from early. He needs to mass repair that command center right now. He's got to mass repair it. Force field on the ramp traps his bio. The SCVs. He's got to lift the command center and get it out of there. Otherwise, the Immortals will kill it. Tanks are trying to move to the low ground, but the tanks on the low ground are exposed. With the tank on the low ground, the Immortals and Stalkers can take it out. The tank is taking big damage. This tank doing massive friendly fire to the SCVs that have the Zealots on top of them. The low ground tank goes down. It's a handful of Marine Marauder and a siege tank on the high ground. Firefly with a vicious ambush on the move out. And as we said, Clem is known for attacking. He attacked game 1 into trying to do a follow-up attack and got punished. This game, he was stabilized. He was in an okay position, but he tried to move out blind there. And Firefly pounced on him. And Clem's going to be kicking himself, guys, because I want to show you just one more time as this forces the ace match. He was looking for the Observer. He was looking for it everywhere, but he just could not see it. It's right there. And I don't know if it was just because it was on the edge. He was trying to do the old zoom in, zoom out, because this makes it a little bit easier to see that. And you can see he was moving left and moving right. He even looked down here for it at one point, but he just did not spot that Observer right there. Even though it's sieged up and it's a little bit more visible because it's extra throbby when it's sieged up now. And that just gave Firefly the extra info to land these force fields perfectly. Even though he reacted pretty quickly, a disastrous move out for Clem. And we see we're trying to maybe sneak an SCV or a Marine out, something like that. You see Terrans do this all the time in this matchup. This is the reason why. It's so they can see the third base timing. They can get info on what's going on the other side of the map. Because if you don't get that info, you never know when Protoss is going to pull off a cheeky maneuver like this. Firefly did not have a third, did not have a forge, did not have any splash damage. It was all Chargelot Immortal all in, but he makes it work, and he ties up the series 3-3. Well, who the hell thought we were going to find ourselves here, guys? Clem gets out in the ace match. He's going to have a third attempt to beat Firefly. And if Clem can't do that for Team Liquid, then Offside have more than earned this victory, dude. To see Thermal go down 0-2 to Mana, Rex get trounced in game 1, and then to see Rex bring it back with Mutilating Bane. Now Firefly 2-0ing Clem. If he can 3-0 Clem, Firefly is the hard carry for Offside. I mean, this is a team which no one's expecting to do well this season. You've got a literal YouTuber playing random in Uthermal. You've got Firefly, who is it probably like, I guess their ace match, their ace player, but Rex, who's, you know, a very good Zerg from Taiwan, but he's a streamer and he's a very high GM, but he's a lower end pro gamer. Rex is not a high level pro gamer. Some would call him a B or C tier pro gamer, and that's no hate on him, you know. I was also around that sort of level when I was competing as well. Still very good compared to most people, very good in Grandmaster, but when you face against the best players in the world, it's just a tough match. And even for a guy like Firefly, who's making waves and getting up into the A ranks of pro gamers, getting closer, he's still not the favorite within China. Let alone when you put him with on a regional stage or a global stage. And this is, of course, a global tournament, the World Team League. Clem is going to go for a double gas opening this time. Reaper into Factory. I do think he's just got to give a bit more respect to Firefly and not let the game get so messy. There just wasn't much hedging his bets for Clem, right? Clem lets his guard down sometimes and just gets caught off by these surprise maneuvers. And that's kind of Clem's strength, is he just plays with a bit of disrespect for his opponent, it feels like. Sometimes he attacks when other players would defend. He confidently just does his build without really caring what his opponent's doing sometimes. And that gives you this air of like, oh gosh, I really need to do something special to stop him. On the other hand, when his opponents are doing those special things and catching him off guard, you go, ooh, better show a bit more respect here, mate. Now this is cool, guys. Firefly's got a second gate and a sentry. So he's going to go Twilight, but it's a late Twilight. He could go Robo or something, but yeah, Twilight, there we go. So it's a later Twilight because he wants to play Scout. So Firefly's like, dude, I'm playing against the double gas opening. Let's just scout really well. Actually, he doesn't know he's against double gas, to be fair. He's just playing a no scout opening, so he's getting the sentry. So it's early greed. If he was being proxy double racks marauded, he probably just loses, right? But against pretty much any other build, he's fine, and he'll scout any sort of very quick 2-base push with the hallucination and be ready for it, which is great. People were talking about Clem accidentally picked up a tank in that last game. No, he dropped it on the low ground, guys. So he picked up the tank, he'd sieged them both on the high ground, then he put one on the low ground because they couldn't defend the command center, and it got focused by the Stalker Sentry. So Clem probably should have lifted the command center and abandoned the low ground. It's a hard call to make, but he really should have just abandoned the low ground and then tried to counter drop. The problem is his SCVs were probably going to get trapped on the low ground by force field, and, well, the whole point of abandoning lifting the command center is to keep the SCVs and the command center alive, and he didn't really have time to respond. We've got new people tuning in, guys. This is the World Team League, so this is the overall score we're looking at between the teams. Don't get me wrong, though. Firefly did just win 2 games in a row. He's 2-0 versus Clem right now. Offside have come into this match from down 0-3 at the start of the series. Uthermal losing 2-0 to Mana. Rex went 1-1 with Cure. So they got to one point on the board with Rex before they finished their 2 maps. Firefly 2-0'd Clem very quickly. And now it's the ace match to decide the entire series. Firefly and Clem both coming out for a rematch. Cloak Banshees are coming in, and dude, Firefly, he saw the starport upgrade. So he's got this, look at this battery. Cloak finishes, Shield Battery finishes at the same time, and he's got his first observer building. Dude, excellent defensive setup. He's got a 3rd base almost finished. Now, to be fair, the Observer's going to be a little slow. The Banshee could just attack probes, and it does get through the hit points. But look at that, guys. He's going to come in. Oh, not the best targeting for Clem. Only gets 1 probe. Shoots 3 separate workers there. Ooh, Banshee barely survives. We've got a Reaper there. A Banshee coming across. A Marine tank move out. This is where things get scary for Firefly, because Firefly, yes, he's been warping in nonstop. He does have 4 gates, actually. Wow, he's already up to 4 gates. If he can get an Immortal out, he'll be in a great spot. That is a big if, though. The Phoenix, he doesn't see the move out. Uh-oh. He's got to be careful. Okay, at least he moves forwards, so he sees it here. Oh, he blinks forward to try to get the Reaper. Gets a Marine and an SCV, but he loses a Stalker for it. Not a good trade there for him, but it's better than nothing. Stalker's going to blink to that left side. They will take out the Banshee. These Stalkers trying to pull back right now. He's going to have Battery Overcharge available. He's just doing nothing but warping and blink Stalkers. There's not many Marines left here. Clem's push is wildly aggressive. He's got Mass Marine Tank Lib coming in behind this. Battery Overcharge is a good ability, though. It's a very good ability. The Banshee's going to try and join up with this. The bunker on the left side is actually so cute. The Marines need to stay back, though. He's just got to get vision with the Banshees and the Marines. Keep the damage going. Firefly delaying this fight as long as possible. Firefly's supply blocked right now. He's going to pull the probes. Stalkers blink forward. He doesn't quite have enough to one-shot. Good split fire. Firefly just split his Stalkers up so they didn't overkill the first tank, allowing him in the second volley to take out the second tank. That was very good micro by Firefly. Very good micro to split fire there and not overkill on the second volley. Stalkers warping on the left side. The bunker will go down. These Stalkers on the south, it's enough to one-shot Marines. They're going to do pretty okay. There's still a little bit of energy healing on that battery. The tank will go down. That is the most important thing to clear. If you can get rid of the Banshees now, you will clean it up. A few of the probes going back to mining as the Stalkers blink forward. Clem does shift-click the red hit point Stalkers there. And at the end of the day, it does look like it's a positive trade for Firefly. No bunker? No bunker. Clem showing zero respect right now to Firefly like he's been doing all series. This tank should be on the high ground, man. Dude, this counterattack's coming in like a brick right now. He sieges this tank on the front. Just zero fear for Clem when he absolutely should have fear. That tank just goes down way too... If he had two tanks, one there, it's unbreakable. But he sieges it way too far in the front, realizes it's too late, unsieges it way too slowly. That being said, Liberator coming on the left side is going to do some pretty good damage. Does get 4 probes, but 5 SCVs going down as well. And this is really unnecessary damage. Clem is playing a sloppy series of games. It feels like Firefly has shocked him with the previous games and has now got a massive advantage. This is a 3-base Protoss, guys, against a Terran who can't even defend their natural. Ooh, Firefly gets a bit of a stiff excitement there and does push it in. And yeah, 2 Stalkers for a tank ain't bad, but he could have lost 3 or 4 if he takes any more risks like that. It could cost him big time. Banshee does get focused, though. That Observer surviving is massive. That Observer change with them having a few more shields is actually, or hit points, sorry, is actually massive. Liberator on the left side as well, dude. He's all over him. Firefly, we've seen Firefly beat Clem in maps, take maps off some of the best players in the world in WTL in the last few seasons. He's very good in this format. For whatever reason, he is very good at picking builds and preparing his matchups. And he's on 65 workers right now. He just needs a lot of pylons so he can mass his next bit of army. It looks like he's going to play Storm Charge, which I think is perfect. Third command center is building, but look, there's an observer that sees everything. Well, actually, it doesn't see the third command center, to be fair. Firefly should probably try to move that forward, but moving it does risk it getting spotted when you move it around the base, so I can understand why he's not doing that. We've already got 2 High Templar at home gathering energy. Storm's on the way. +1 armor starts. Remember that armor on Zealots is very effective. Liberator does come in to siege on the edge of those Stalkers, gets itself a shot or 2 off. And just to blink back calmly. Observer shuffles over, does get spotted when he does that. As I said, if you move it, there's a high risk they'll see it. But he sees the third command center, which is good enough. Clem comes out, there's an observer there as well. Does have a scan to deal with it, but it looks like he hasn't noticed it just yet. Stalker micro is good, damages a Marauder. The medevacs aren't out yet, man. It's almost 9 minutes and no medevacs. Zealots get in the main base. Big Zealot drop comes in. He cancels the warp in, which I think is a good call. You really don't want to go for a lot of Zealots in their main because they'll be trapped. You can only save 4 of them. 2 SCVs, a bit of mining time. Can he get the Widow Mine? Yeah, Widow Mine into pickup. Not a bad way to do it. He's going to get on out of there. A lot of Terrans would build a Viking to deal with this if they're in a better position, but he's only got 2 medevacs. He desperately needs to spend that gas and minerals on more medevacs. Clem has swapped now to survival mode. His tank is blocking his third command center. That was awkward. And it looks like the Widow Mine was blocking it as well. Oh my lord. Mass Zealot Stalker Storm incoming. Firefly has a 4th base up and fully saturated. Clem has to withstand an avalanche. Honestly, I don't think he can. If the tanks were back here, maybe, but he's only got a tank, a few mines, a few Marauders and Marines. The Zealot Stalker is going to ruin him. Storms all over the Marauders. Storms all over everything. More Stalkers and Zealots warping in. And Clem just does not have the numbers. Offside gaming with a reversal from down 0-3. Rex wins a game. Firefly 3-0s Clem. And damn, GG, well played. I just, what the hell, man? Clem is going to be like kicking himself. And this is just a reminder that sometimes you play someone from a different region you don't play against a lot. and they just surprise you with their style. And you see these kind of cross-region matchups with big underdog swings sometimes. So hats off to Firefly for looking so bloody good here. GG, well played.